Hello there and welcome to Iron Port. It is proudly brought to you by GOIL, West Blue Consulting, GCNet and Ghana Revenue Authority. Folks, this week it appears a lot of news and very good news within the port and maritime industry, because a lot of us are expecting His Excellency the Vice President to give some hint or indication that shows that there is going to be a lot of relief as far as doing business in the country is concerned, hoping to hear a reduction in duties from the economic management team of the country. Also, the International Maritime Organization Secretary General is expected to be in the country, and we're hoping to hear a lot around the maritime and transport business in this country and around the globe as well. So this week, let me just begin by telling you that we're going to have a very exclusive interview with the General Manager for Marketing and Corporate Affairs of the Ports and Harbours Authority, Mrs. ESTHER GYEBI-DONKOR, who will be telling us a lot about what's happening within the port as far as performance is concerned, revenue-wise, also container traffic and all of that. We'll hear all of that in this particular interview with Mrs. ESTHER GYEBI-DONKOR. In the meantime, the Ports and Harbours Authority is clamping down very hard on folks who falsify documents as far as clearance is concerned in the port. There are people, agents and importers who connive and decide to falsify documents to dupe the Port Authority or dupe the other agencies, including customs. Again, there are also agents who falsify documents to dupe importers. This week, the security team at the port, as well as other departments within the ports, have been able to nab two people, one clearing agent and one internet cafe operator, who teamed up to falsify documents to dupe an importer.
Two persons have been arrested for allegedly falsifying GPHA revenue documents in Tema. The two, Paul Amesu Regata, a clearing agent, and David Kamasa, an internet cafe operator, were nabbed when they allegedly halted GPHA port charges of 1,749.11 Ghana cedis to read 4,491.59 Ghana cedis. Instead of presenting the actual amount of the port handling charges to the importer, who contracted him to assist in clearing his goods out of the port, the agents rather allegedly inflated the cost so he could make a profit of 2,642.48 Ghana cedis with the assistance of the cafe operator. The importer, who was worried over the high port handling charges presented to him by his agents, sought a clarification from the GPHA Revenue Center, where it was disclosed to him that the document his agents presented to him was fake and had been inflated. The two have been handed over to the Marine Police Unit of the Ghana Police Service by the Tema Port Security Manager, Colonel Joseph Punamani, to assist in investigations.
This is very dangerous because it's created the impression that port charges are very high. So we found that we should just deal with them and hand them over to the police, because a lot of people are playing games in the port.
Meanwhile, the Port Authority continues to urge importers who do not trust charges presented to them by their agents to come with them to the ports to seek the necessary clarifications.
Our importers, they have freedom. They have freedom to come to the port. We have the rule that the clearing and forwarding agent can come with two representatives of the importer. So they need to get involved. If this is an identified problem, they need to get involved. If the importer is to get the invoices, they can always also be part of that process of getting the invoice so that they can confirm whether it's a genuine invoice or not. It's very important that they do that.
The General Manager Marketing and Corporate Affairs of GPHA, ESTHER GYEBI-DONKOR, said agents who falsify GPHA ports charges create the impression to importers and the public that the cost of doing business in the port is high.
Most of the time you have the you have importers complaining that the port charges, I want to narrow down to our port first. The port charges are so high.
She said the Port Authority is taking steps to ensure that importers know how much port handling charges they are required to pay.
The importer can go with the agents to pay the money in the bank. And then the GPHA service charges, you can also pay that in ADB or EcoBank branches. You go with the clearing and forwarding agent if you are not too sure, and then you make the payments. So we are encouraging them to get more involved so that we don't have these kind of negative people among us doing these kind of things coming up, and then making our port expensive and making the importers suffer losses that should not be suffered.
So we hear a lot more in detail when it comes to this particular story, because it's not pleasant, and the Port Authority says whoever you are, if you're thinking, and if you have been doing this already and you have never been caught, your time will soon be up. Again, let's hit the port of TAKORADI, because that port is making waves. Some time back we told you that they have received one of the largest vessels in the world at that port. This time around, the biggest ever vessel to have come to the port of TAKORADI happened just in the past week.
The port of TAKORADI has recorded yet another major milestone in terms of its capacity to receive larger cargo vessels. The port, on 3 consecutive times and by incremental volumes of storage capacity, had ships call into its anchorage to load and export manganese to China and other countries. The latest and record-breaking is the MV Semirio of 290 meters length and destined for China has been loading 175,000 metric tons of manganese at the port. According to Peter Amubediako, Acting Marketing and Public Affairs Manager of the Port of TAKORADI, the calling of one of the largest vessels in the world at the Port of TAKORADI is an evidence to the fact that the port and its anchorage are safe.
Operation is a testament to the fact that the port limits are very safe as compared to our neighboring ports, and that ship operations can occur.
He said last year, manganese exports rose from 2 million metric tons in 2017 to 4.2 million metric tons in 2018. Peter Amubediako emphasized that the feat is remarkable as it contributes to the port's traffic and ultimately the finances of the organization.
For the first 3 months, we have handled almost close to 700,000 metric tons of cargo. It shows that the port of TAKORADI is on course to, though very early, but the signs are good that business will be good for the port coming 2019.
He continued that TAKORADI Port is a preferred shipping destination in the sub-region and that they would work to improve service delivery for their stakeholders. He said the port of TAKORADI has been positioned not only to serve the manganese or the export markets, but all the markets including traditional cargo, oil and gas, bulk cargo, and the general cargo that it handles.
So lately, I mean, if you observe the social media, some of us saw that there was a video circulating that the Golden Jubilee terminal was empty, and there have been also talks that not a lot of container or cargo is coming in as far as import is concerned. So we decided to find out, is it the case that the port is not recording very high import within the port, and then also if there is any truth in the fact that the entire port is getting empty because people are not importing. The General Manager for Marketing and Corporate Affairs has a different view as far as this is concerned, and also take a look at the port performance in the year 2018. How did the entire port fare in the year 2018? How is our port doing?
As far as our basic mandate is concerned, we are doing very, very well. And though there is room for improvement, once we have our performance figures telling us that we have been able to do better than we did the previous year, we can only say that the port is doing well.
By that you mean that the performance of the port for, let's say, 2018 was better than that of 2017?
Of course. If you take the total cargo traffic that we handled in the port in 2018 compared to 2017, we did for Temaport, we did over 16 million tons in 2018.
Okay.
Compared to 2017, where we handled about 14.3 million tons.
Oh, that's a huge difference.
So that is a huge difference. It's about 18.1% increase. And if you even compare 2017-16 to 2018-17-18, then you see how well we are doing. Because if you compare the percentage increase in 2016 to 2017, that was about 4.7%. But 17-18, we did 18. Yes. So that tells 12%
difference
more
when
that
we
did.
you look
So
at 2018.
we can only say that we are doing pretty well.
And what is the reason behind that? What's accounting for this increase?
If I take the Port Authority, we can come up with a number of reasons. In this total cargo traffic that I have just mentioned, we have various segments. We have the imports, we have the exports, we have the transit, and then we have the transshipment. This is how we have segmented the various areas of cargo that we handled in the port. And we realized that all these, the three, imports, exports, and transits, increase. It was only transshipment that reduced. Okay. And there's a reason for it. I'll come back to that. Okay. But there was so much increase in the exports.
Export increase.
Export increase. We have over 300% increase in.
That should be good news for a lot of.
It is a good news, because we all know the imbalance between import and export, and the fact that we need to up the export to have this balance of trade. So obviously everybody is making the conscious effort to increase our exports. The government, of course, it's one of its agenda to increase the exports through one district, one factory, and all those other hands that they are stretching to the exporters and what have you. And the port is also doing our bits to support the government effort. For example, we increased our tariffs, but we did not increase for exports. Okay. We left the exports, and then also even we already all exports charges has always been lower than imports in our port. And then the last time we increased the tariff, we also made the conscious effort not to increase the exports. We have also done a lot of promotion to our transit customers to bring their exports through our ports. So the export for Burkina Faso passing through our ports also increased substantially. And all those culminated into that kind of increase in the export. And then transit also increased significantly. Between 2016-17 and then also 17-18, we have also seen that transit is increasing so much. So those are the factors that affect
led to the about 18%
increase.
That's impressive. Probably it tells a lot of effort that's been made within the industry to ensure that we sustain the growth within. But it's also surprising, because it appears that the perception out there is that not a lot is coming into the country. People feel that cedi is depreciating, the currency is not helping. A lot of people are not importing because there are a lot of duties and taxes are high and all of that. In spite of these, you are telling us that the ports, the cargo that is coming in is still growing, or the port is still increasing?
Yes, I would say that. I can tell you that because of the figures that we have, and those are the facts on the ground.
They say figures don't lie. No, facts don't lie. Okay.
Yeah, I think that we cannot just say that the port figures answers all the questions of depreciation and how it's affecting people, maybe taxes for in terms of the duties and how it's affecting our customers and all that. We cannot just conclude. But then the fact is that cargo traffic through our ports have increased. Okay. If you compare 2017 to 2018, they have increased, as I illustrated to you earlier on. But let me make a little comment on the taxes as well. It's one of the major complaints that we've been having in recent times from our customers, the importers who use our ports, that the duty is so high and what have you. But you know, there was a study that was commissioned by the economic team led by the Vice President of the nation. And when we
Ghana's economic management team.
Yes, okay. Ghana's economic management team. You know, when we benchmark with our neighboring countries, you know, neighboring ports, the taxes that they pay, you realize that we were all in that region, but Ghana was a little bit lower than Abidjan and Lomé. So, well, I'm not surprised because of this ECOWAS, whatever, where all the customs, they are thinking of having the same taxes. We are all in that region, and the findings indicated that Ghana is a little bit lower. Okay. But the economies of all these three countries are different, so you cannot just
the per capita income in Lomé, for instance, is not the same as
exactly. So those who are feeling the pinch are the ones complaining. So we have to probably look at it. There's always there's also an aspect that kind of give credence a little to this allusion that the tax is too high for them. Okay. Yes, from our operation we have realized that the quantity of cargo that goes on UCL in the port is a bit high.
Uncleared cargos.
Uncleared cargos. Okay. It's a bit high. It's a bit on the high side. The dwell time is also a bit on the high side, which means that though the container, for example, is in port and we expect the owners to come and clear them, it takes them a while. It takes a long time for them to come, and then normally the reason they will be giving to you is we are looking for the duty to pay. The duty is so high and we are looking for the duty to pay. And to the extent that sometimes we have a number of these is quite high, auctioned by customs, you see. So it is clear that who under normal circumstance will bring cargo to the port and abandon it because they have bought the items and they have also shipped, probably if it is the type that they have already paid the freight before coming, then why would they want to abandon the cargo in the port? So it's something that also gives that indication that really complaining about the taxes is a reality for the people, importers who are coming in.
Where you sit in reality, and we all know you, that you are very, very familiar with the port terrain within the sub-region and even beyond. Do you think that our duties in this country are just too high and something can be done about it? I know this is a push to the wall, I know, but just from where you sit, do you think something can be done, and if that thing is done, it can help the business for you and for the port authority?
Sammy, obviously, if the importers are complaining that the duties are too high and something is done, something positively in their favor is done, as in duties are reduced, it means that it gives them more capital and more cargo will come through my port, so I'll be more than happy. But it is not very straightforward. There's so much that goes into what is brought up as duty for these. So we can only encourage the institutions that are involved to listen, and then if there is anything they can do to alleviate the complaints of our importers, that will be very welcome by all the port community. You are very much aware we are building our Terminal 3 that is going to expand the Port of Tema, where we can be able to handle 3.5 million TEUs of containers in this port. So if the importers who are going to bring the containers are complaining that this is the duty is affecting their capital, we need to balance all of this so that at the end of the day, we don't finish building big terminals and then the cargo is not coming. Yeah. So for the Port Authority, we'll be more than happy to hear that our importers are now okay with the duty and they are able to bring a lot through our port.
Yeah, and we also have a similar expansion coming up in TAKORADI.
Yeah, of course, in TAKORADI. In TAKORADI, even in Tema, apart from the containers, you know, we have a new jetty for bulk cargo. And then we are doing a lot also in TAKORADI for the bulk jetty and all those oil and gas hub that we want to build and all of that. Yeah. So if we do all of that and then we don't have
people
the cargo
are not importing or exporting,
of course it will be a challenge to us. But then, I mean, for now, I can conveniently tell you that the port has done very well in 2018
terms of performance. I see.
Compared to 2017.
I see. Again, also brings my mind to something I saw on social media recently within the port community. There were some videos circulating as though the ports are looking empty, containers are not too much. Is it that you have been able to move some of your containers somewhere, or the video we are seeing, probably somebody stood somewhere and just took his own videos and shared?
I think I saw that video.
You saw
too.
That
I saw that video, and it was specifically on Golden Jubilee Terminal.
That's where they filmed.
Yeah, that's where they filmed. Because if you had listened to the voice, it was saying that because of taxes, Golden Jubilee of all places is empty and all of that. I don't know when that picture was taken, but it looked to me as if it was on a weekend that we were not delivering, or even working hours. I'm sure probably some Monday morning, and we usually have low turn up of our customers on Monday morning. But I can also share the Golden Jubilee figures with you to illustrate to you.
You mean their performance?
Their performance, the statistics, to illustrate to you that there's nothing wrong with Golden Jubilee, and that's in terms of performance. Cargo deliveries through Golden Jubilee has been on the increase compared to the previous years. I will give you the figures in a short while, but let me also say that probably the paperless, the paperless has brought its own positive advantages on the clearance process. So maybe they are not seeing the kind of congestion that used to characterize the place. They are not seeing. It's moving. Cargo is moving quickly, as the objective of the paperless indicated. It is moving quickly, and a number of the containers too are being scanned, because if you recall, during the paperless, the target was to make sure that we have a number of them in green, where they will not even go through the physical examination, so that you can just quickly
have it done, and
then once they have paid for our services, quickly they are loaded and customs clears them and they are able to go. And then the yellow is also supposed to be on the high side, which is for the scan. And so a number of them too are going through the scan. Then we have those ones that are going through the red, where we have to fully stop for full physical examination to be done. So all these, and then also remember, for the paperless project, we have to reduce agencies inspecting the cargo to 3, from 16 to 3. So now and even the 3, sometimes you don't need all the 3 to be present.
There.
Once customs is there and it's something to do with Food and Drugs Authority,
they can share the information.
They are there, they do, the 2 of them do, and they share the information with the others. And if it is also for Standard Authority, they join customs, they do it, they share the information for everybody. So all those things have helped in the clearance process to facilitate, to quicken the clearance process. So probably they are still looking out for
the usual crowd and congestion in the past.
That they want to see Jubilee in that form. If you permit me, so I can be very accurate, let me look on here and give you some figures for Golden Jubilee.
Okay.
In 2016, we delivered 96,108 TEUs of containers through Golden Jubilee.
Okay.
In 2017, it rose to 140,240 and 240 TEUs. Yes. And then in 2018, we handled 151,705 TEUs. Obviously, it is high. Now, because we're talking about the video, let me also give you how things are looking in this year, the first 2 months, because we are still in March, we'll be ending March by the weekend, and so we are yet to put the March figures together. But then for January 2017, we handled 13,011 TEUs, but for 2018, we handled 14,734.
No, you mean 2019?
2019.
So the 13,011,000 was 2018. So 13,011,000 was 2018 January.
2018 January.
And then 2019
January we handled 14,734.
It's about 1.7 million higher than 2018.
Higher than 2018. Then in 2018 February we did 10,524 TEUs, whilst in 2019 we did 10,802.
That is still higher than 2018.
So there is no problem with Golden Jubilee
at all.
I mean,
and that's your heart. That's the heart of the port, right?
Of course. A
lot of activities are.
Yeah, that because now the shore handling aspect that GPHA is involved is Golden Jubilee, Transit, and Reefer. So Golden Jubilee is the main area for GPHA now, as far as shore handling is concerned.
Aside knowing these figures that you have given us, the Golden Jubilee figures, which from what you have said looks very positive, even in 2018 and first quarter 2019. What about transit? Because I know that you made a lot of effort traveling there and all, trying to woo the transit market to Ghana.
Yeah.
How is it doing?
Transit is also doing very well. Let me also give you the transit figures. For 2017, for Tema, we did 1,043,771. For 2018, we did 1,251,129, which is about 19.9% increase.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would like to throw light on one of the areas that we are happy with. You know, the distance between Ghana and Niger is a bit far. It's quite far. And so it's been difficult for us to actually increase
them to come
that country's cargo passing through our port. But between 2017-18, we were able to increase it by 91%. Yes, in 2017, yes, it's because we went on trade mission to the place. We reassured them. We also invited them, you know, last year to come around. They were here to see for the importers what is happening in Ghana, and so that we believe contributed to this massive increase.
Okay, because I'm interested in that part, because all of us know if you get to Niamey, or if you are in Niger, for instance, you realize that the shortest distance to do business for them will be Cotonou. Cotonou is quite close.
Yes, that's their natural port.
Rather, Ghana you would have to go through Burkina, Ouagadougou, and then before you get to Niger.
Yes.
And even the Burkina to Niger road is not even too good. All of that, you are saying that Ghana is still able to convince them to come in. What then is a trick? What then is a selling point?
Yes. You know, the first that I should mention is the security of the nation and the port. The importers, obviously coming from another country, are very much concerned with the fact that they want to use a country, for that matter, that country's port, where they themselves coming in to transact business, and then their cargo can be safe. So the security of the ports that they deal with is very critical to them. So they know Ghana is peaceful in the first place, stable, and then also the port is also very safe. They always are able to get their cargo when they pass through us. We only have very, very, very few reported missing cargo. They don't get the transitors coming to tell you they did not receive their cargo as compared to other ports. So that's one of the huge selling point that we have. We also have quality service, because they've been telling us the way our customer service is so high in the port. And then also our charges compared to the other ports are a bit lower. It is just that when they add the transportation leg to it, then it's a bit, but then the port charges itself.
Ghana is lower than the other countries.
Ghana is lower than some of our competitors in the sub-region. And so that motivates them to come. And our roads too, comparatively, the Ghanaian roads are, we have better roads in the Ghanaian corridor than we have in some other parts. Although let me confess that some of our competitors also have the rail. I was going to say Abidjan has the rail and we don't have the rail. They have the rail and we don't have the rail. But then, yes, the roads are not, they are quite good. They are not that bad. And so, and the hospitality and then the safety of their cargo, for some of them, those are the critical things they are looking at. It is the choice of the importer. If these are the critical things, the most valuable things in the scheme of things, then they are encouraged to use our port. And then, like I said, it is also very critical that the port stays in touch with its clients, especially when they are out there and the importers are out there in their various countries, and they only normally rely on the services of the freight forwarders. They feel more at home when the port authority who is in charge gets closer to them and let them know what we have for them, what we are doing, you know, clarify all the issues that they may have and all the doubts that they may have to them, and then they feel more at home to come and use your port. At this point, let me also acknowledge the input of other stakeholders in at least some key stakeholders who are also very, very interested in us increasing the transit. And so some efforts have been done by them, all put together, is what we are all realizing. I think that we can mention Ghana Shippers Authority. They have been with us through even the trade missions. They have been, and then they have also intensified their activities, awareness creation, things that can, you know, make business and the corridor easier for our transitors. They have also reorganized an office at the borders, you know, Paga border, for example. They have an office there, And then they have a platform, some numbers that our transitors can call
if they have challenges
at the border and any other area. So I think all those ones too are really helping, and we cannot leave out customs. Customs has also given us the needed support. The commissioner, Mr. Krenzel, he has done well to always go with us for all the trade missions that we have embarked on in 2017 and 2018. He's been with us to the place, and then we took the opportunity to encourage them, to reassure them, because normally, you know, traders are always apprehensive about customs policies and what have you. But he reassured them that we are all into this together, and they are more than happy to address all the challenges that come. And in fact, he has really demonstrated that we have had a number of challenges at the border, Paga, Hamile, and anytime we call on him, he tries to liaise with his officers at the borders, and then they are able to go, because you see the whole thing is not done until they are able to go out of our corridor. So it's very, very strategic that we pay attention beyond the port, all the way from the port to the border, because sometimes they don't even have challenges in the ports. Once they satisfy on the corridor has been the challenge, you know, police harassment, and in the past customs harassment. But thanks to the vice president led team who declared that the customs barriers should be reduced, in fact taken up by them, now they have about 3 that everybody understands they should have. And so the harassment from the customs is no more there. But then our customers are still complaining about the police harassment.
So you may have heard from the General Manager, Marketing and Corporate Affairs, that indeed there's some efforts being made to bring the duty within the port down. And this week, we're going to hear from His Excellency the Vice President some bit of reduction or relief as far as duties in the port is concerned. And I believe that a lot of the stakeholders within the port industry would find this very welcoming. Iron Port returns after the break.
From September 1st, Ghana is going 100% paperless at the port.
No, we are here for all of us our interest, not for any individual interest.
As for paperless, no dear, but we need more education.
Any situation which throws light is a good situation. Iron Port is a perfect intervention.
Iron Port is also adding to the growth of the countries going forward in development.
Iron Port has come to upgrade and promote the industry.
This is Iron Port, now interactive, showing live on Metro TV every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Iron Port, transparency in doing business and building nation. Proudly brought to you by
Hello. Good morning, this is Samantha Wendy. I am sending a purchase order from SA2 Ventures International. Our policy for new supplies is 2 containers to start with, but you must deliver within 30 days.
Don't worry at all. I'm going to get you the 4 containers within 30 days or less. Bye.
To get his pineapple slices from his country to his clients overseas, Mr. Appiah and his representatives have to complete a number of regulatory compliance procedures to various international trade stakeholders.
Hey, Baba, what's going on? Get it right? I mean, how?
Hey. Using single window, Mr. Appiah has completed all his international trade procedures through one portal. He has registered his company information, applied for the necessary permit, certificates and licenses, and all that remains is for him to get a text alert for clearance and movement of goods. And that's how simple facilitating international trade could be in a single window environment. You can offer competitive services to your trading partners in China, America, even here, in a simpler, faster, and cost-effective way. Single window. The only way to Ghana's economic growth is in our hands.
Here's innovation from GOIL that takes you further. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and GOIL has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. GOIL. Good energy.
From September 1st, Ghana is going 100% paperless at the port.
No, we are here for all of us our interest, not for any individual interest.
As for paperless, no dear. But we need more education.
Any situation which throws light is a good situation. Eye on Port is a perfect intervention.
Eye on Port is also adding to the growth of the country's going forward and development.
Eye on Port has come to upgrade and promote the industry.
This is Eye on Port, now interactive, showing live on Metro TV every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eye on Port, transparency in doing business and building nation. Proudly brought to you by. Welcome back from the break. Still watching Eye on Port news and activities around the local port industry next.
A delegation from the Niger Shippers Council have paid a courtesy call on the Acting Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority and his management team. Niger is one of the transit countries that use the ports of Ghana to import and export cargoes into their country. The visit, according to the Director General of the Niger Shippers Council, is to strengthen the ties between GPHA and the Niger Shippers Council to improve the volume of trade passing through Ghana's ports.
Because no businessman would like to do a business that he will lose. He will definitely go where he will make a lot of profit or gains. But if few of them are still stick with Ghana Ports and Harbours Authorities, because there's something that is holding them, and that's our conditions of the way the services that we provide, and the other conditions that put in place that is making the trade more attractive to these few shippers who are doing business with us.
The Acting Director General of GPHA, Michael Luguji, commended shippers in Niger for choosing Ghana's ports as their preferred choice ahead of their competitors due to the quality of service.
Shippers from Niger choosing to use our ports of Tema and TAKORADI, I think that alone, even if it's because we have better quality of services and attractive conditions, we should still appreciate Niger and its shippers for choosing Ghana's corridor for their import and export trade.
He assured shippers of Niger that GPHA, together with other stakeholders, will continue to improve Ghana's corridors so as to make them attractive to shippers from landlocked countries in terms of cost and quality service.
We try to also, as much as possible, in collaboration with customs, our prime stakeholders, and all others, we do everything possible to make sure that, to the best of our ability and within the limited conditions of our country, our facilities, our tariff, and all the other arrangements in place to make transit trade attractive, we put them in place. And that's why Ghana's transit regime is quite preferential. We try to make sure that our tariffs are special for transit cargo.
The Niger delegation commended Ghana for its safe corridor, but raised concerns regarding extortion on Ghana's corridor and the numerous police and customs barriers, which they said impeded free flow of goods on the corridor. But said Jiwa, an official of Customs Division of GRE, said all customs barriers have been removed following the directive from the Vice President to that effect, with the exception of the ECOWAS-approved barriers.
The 2019 annual Borderless Alliance Conference is expected to take place in Accra from 24th to 26th April 2019, where manufacturers, policymakers, transporters, business owners, and other key stakeholders will be deliberating on issues concerning trade and transport facilitation in the West African sub-region. In the year 2018, the annual Borderless Alliance Conference was held in the Malian capital, Bamako. The three-day conference, which is expected to facilitate intra-regional trade in West Africa, seeks to remind policy and decision makers of important issues affecting trade facilitation within West Africa. At a press conference in Accra, ahead of the main conference, the president of Borderless Alliance National Committee for Ghana, Ziad Hamui, said the 8th conference will place more emphasis on the need to experience robust growth in trade on the continent due to the adoption of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement by the African Union.
We need to show that, for example, Ghana is improving its competitiveness in trade, in transports, and at the same time improving its infrastructure. And then it will be able to benefit and to reap the benefits of these regional integration.
Ziad Hamui was of the view that Africa can become a major industry hub only if movement of goods and services and the associated challenges were addressed. Hence, the conference will create the platform for about 1,000 business leaders, policymakers, and key stakeholders in the value chain across the sub-region to discuss the challenges and offer lasting solutions to them.
We expect mainly manufacturers, producers, association representatives, organized private associations, that is, port authorities, transporters, trade unions sometimes, foreign expertise coming in from our network of partners, that is from the World Bank. It is a unique melting point, and everybody talking about trade facilitation and how to do better business.
The conference will also examine key issues in regional trade links such as border crossing procedures, road regulations, port procedures, as well as updates on current trade and transport policies that foster intra-regional trade. Registration for the 2019 Borderless Alliance Conference, slated for the 24th to 26th April in Ghana, is ongoing, and interested stakeholders are invited.
We are competing against others for the same cargo that is going into the landlocked countries. We are competing against others for cargo that is going to particular countries. And so if we want to look, for example, from a Ghanaian perspective, developing our maritime infrastructure and building the huge port expansion project, to what effect are we going to benefit from that if we do not have the competitive edge to convince the rest of the traders to shift their cargoes through Ghana?
Tema Port Security and Emergency Services have expressed readiness to deal with any threat of terror attack on Ghana's largest port, following a successful counter-terrorism simulation exercise dubbed Exercise Harbour Shield within the Tema Port Enclave. The simulation exercise, initiated by the Security Department of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, had partners from the Ghana Police Service, Ghana Army and Navy, Ghana National Fire Service, and the Ghana Health Service. The rest are the Ghana Immigration Service, Ghana Maritime Authority, Bureau of National Investigation, and National Security, among others. The Human Resource Manager of Tema Ports, Samola, just said the exercise is in compliance with International Ship and Port Facility Security Code to test and enhance coordination procedures and response to likely security threat to port facilities, which is conducted every 18 months.
The security gurus in the port we have met, and then we have looked at all the shortfalls in the system, and they'll see how we can beef it up to make the port a secure place, because we have human beings, we have facilities, we have the vessels themselves, and all the infrastructure, it falls within the agency.
The Port Security Manager, Colonel Joseph Malik Ponomani, said the periodic exercise is meant to test the operational readiness of security agencies and emergency service providers within the ports in diffusing possible terrorist threats on the Tema Port area and its environs.
There are a lot of possibilities, and the scenarios are the possible things that could happen to us. For instance, bomb explosion is a possibility, and when it happens, what is the contingency arrangement to overcome or minimize casualty. That's all that you saw.
He suggested that there should be effective training of personnel on voice communication and the use of Motorola phones, as well as the activeness of emergency alarms in the port community. Colonel Joseph Malik Punamani implored all port users to be abreast with basic security tips at the port and the ISPS code so as to report any suspicious happenings or movements.
I want to use this medium to advise all port users to comply with all that we tell them, because it's for their safety and it's for everybody's safety. Okay. Especially speed limits and all those should be observed. Reflectors should be worn.
Some participants shared their thoughts at the end of the event.
International port news next. China's COSCO Shipping Lines has signed a low-sulfur fuel oil supply agreement with Double Rich Limited, a subsidiary of China Marine Bunker, PetroChina. According to the agreement, inked on March 28, 2019, Double Rich Limited will provide fuel oil with sulfur content not exceeding 0.5% for COSCO Shipping Lines vessels. By promoting and applying diverse emission reduction technologies and optimizing management pattern, COSCO is moving forward to realize green shipping. The LSFO supply deal has been described by the company as an important step toward actively fulfilling MAPOL of IMO, confronting industry trends and adhering to green development. Preparing for the IMO 2020, the company has implemented research, development and application of ship desulfurization technology on the basis of pilot installation of scrubbers on 2 vessels. COSCO Shipping Lines plans to equip more vessels with subscribers. A team of UK hydrographic office experts is helping the government of Seychelles tackle piracy in the Indian Ocean on behalf of UK's Foreign and Commonwealth Office. The engagement between UKHO and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Seychelles is aimed at strengthening maritime security and safety of navigation. UKHO delivered a package of security of navigation, stabilizing, advice and training aimed at helping Seychelles share vital maritime safety information with ships and partners in that region.
From September 1st, Ghana is going 100% paperless at the ports.
No, we are here for all of us our interest, not for any individual interest.
As for paperless, no dear. But we need more education.
Any situation which throws light is a good situation. Eye on port is a perfect intervention.
Eye on port is also adding to the growth of the countries going forward in development.
Eye on port has come to upgrade and promote the industry.
This is Eye on Port, now interactive, showing live on Metro TV every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eye on Port, transparency in doing business and building nation. Proudly brought to you by
Hello. Good morning, this is Samantha Wendy. I am sending a purchase order from SA2 Ventures International. Our policy for new supplies is 2 containers to start with, but you must deliver within 30 days.
Don't worry at all. I'm going to get you the 4 containers within 30 days or less. Bye.
To get his pineapple slices from his country to his clients overseas, Mr. Appiah and his representatives have to complete a number of regulatory compliance procedures to various international trade stakeholders.
Hey, Baba, what's going on? Get it right? I mean, how? Hey.
Using single window, Mr. Appiah has completed all his international trade procedures through one portal. He has registered his company information, applied for the necessary permit, certificates and licenses, and all that remains is for him to get a text alert for clearance and movement of goods. And that's how simple facilitating international trade could be in a single window environment. You can offer competitive services to your trading partners in China, America, even here in a simpler, faster and cost-effective way. Single window, the only way to Ghana's economic growth is in our hands.
Here's innovation from GOIL that takes you further. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and GOIL has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. GOIL. Good energy.
From September 1st, Ghana is going 100% paperless at the ports.
No, we are here for all of us our interests, not for any individual interest.
As for paperless, no dear. But we need more education.
Any situation which throws light is a good situation. Eye on port is a perfect intervention.
Eye on port is also adding to the growth of the countries going forward in development.
Eye on port has come to upgrade and promote the industry.
This is Eye on Port, now interactive, showing live on Metro TV every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eye on Port, transparency in doing business and building nation. Proudly brought to you by schedules of vessels in the port, those at anchorage, those expected in the coming week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rate next. So once again, we're expecting that big and good news from His Excellency the Vice President of the Republic regarding reduction of duties in the port from the entire economic management team and the government as well. We thank you for watching the program. Also, thanks to the entire team who support and make the program possible. Robert Nyantechi, Godwin Kabute, Solomon Anderson, Joe Apia, Joe Lavo, also the executive producers of the program, Nana Esi Sodoberg and Esther GYEBI-DONKOR. Thanks for watching.